Guten Abend, mein Name ist Heidenstein. Was ist los? Du bist am
Hello everyone, it's Hyden in the Philippines. Today I want to talk to you about the crash and burn I had. Unexpected crash and burn in such the slow motion situation that it actually happened in. The other day I rented a scooter here. I'm going to buy a scooter, which I'm going to take you on that adventure probably tomorrow. I'm going to go buy my own scooter. However, I had to rent a scooter, and I got a pretty good deal. I got one of the bigger scooters. And I'm paying $350 a day. That's 350 pesos a day, which is like I don't know, $6-7 a day. That's not too bad. That's a pretty good price. Anyway, my girlfriend Gladys and we've been running around the island for the last couple of days. We got here on Friday. Today's Sunday, so we've been here 2 days. And the first couple of days is just like a supply mission. We had to stock our little place that we're living at, get all the food we needed, whatever other essentials that you need to put together a little household. I'm going to be here for 6 months, so there was a few things that they didn't have that I needed. Okay, food for one. They don't stock your house, and I tend, my girlfriend is a Filipino, so she's a great cook. She's from the province, so I don't have the problems that a lot of the foreigners do when they get here, because I'll eat just about anything, and I mean just about anything. There's a few things that I won't eat. They made some food the other day that had pig's blood. It was pig's blood and whatever the hell it was, and I just couldn't get past the fact that it was pig's blood. I took a taste of it, but I just couldn't do it for some, because in the West we're taught that pig's blood's going to kill you. You're going to get that trichinosis and die from it. Well, anyway. Like I said, there's a few things I won't eat. I still haven't tried balut. Well, I'm sure at some point I'm going to be forced into it. But one of the things I always hear about that balut is people say, well, I tried it once, and you never hear of a foreigner trying it twice. Most foreigners will, they'll try it one time, but they're not out to eat it again, because if you don't know what balut is, it's a chicken that's been left in the egg, a growing chicken, and they'll let it grow for like 18 days, and then they boil that sucker and sell it, and they love it. It's like candy here. But back home, if you get an egg and you crack that sucker and it's got just one drop of blood in it, you're going to pitch it or give it to the dog. You're not going to eat it. But that's not a problem here. But that's neither here nor there. What I want to get back to is we had an accident. And that's going to happen to you, because it is the Wild West out here when it comes to driving, and you have to be overly cautious. I mean, you have to be the most defensive driver on the planet. And I was a truck driver for many years, so I know how to be a good defensive driver. And I still got hit. We were going to a place, and we had got the things that we needed, and I had missed my turn. So I knew that if I made another right turn down here and just went down the alleyway, I would hit my main road. Well, luckily for me, we're going down the road and we're putzing along, and I'm not going very fast at all. Maybe 5-6 miles an hour. I'm not in a rush. I'm on island time, so I am definitely not in a rush. So we're going, and I'm in like the middle of the road. So as to avoid accidents, I've learned, staying to the right or staying to the left, hugging a curve, that's to your detriment, because you never know when somebody's just going to be stopped right there. You're going to come around a blind curve, and boom, there's going to be a truck, a car, a bike. They're just going to be stopped. And if you hit them, it's your fault. So in a curve, I never hug the curve. I stay to the outside, almost to the line, so as to avoid that kind of thing. And I'm going down the alley, as I said. We're putzing down the alley. It's me and my girl. She's on the back, and it's a bigger bike, which also sort of helped because Gladys was sitting up a little higher. Well, here comes this guy out of nowhere, an older dude, probably as old as I am, but a Filipino man. He's got a pot belly, and his eyes are bloodshot as hell. and he hits the front of my bike. Bam, hits us. Well, not, I was able to, like, I held it for a while, but the momentum of it, the bike went down on the side and like crashed us right there. I mean, it maybe slid a foot. So anyway, the bike hits the ground, and I get up and I pick the bike, and I'm so concerned about Gladys, because her leg's underneath the bike, and I picked up the bike, and I'm thinking, good Lord, did she break anything? Is she hurt? And I'm looking at this guy, and he's looking at me, and in the States, I would have picked that bike up 100%. In the States, I would have took the assault charge because you hurt my girl, and I don't give a damn. In the States, I would have whooped your ass 100%. Would have whooped your ass or died trying. And went to jail over it. 3 days in jail. I don't. What is that? I can do that on my head. But anyway, I picked up the bike, and the guy, he picked up his bike because he hit the ground too. He picked up his bike, and by the time I got Gladys up off the ground and I got my bike up and hit the kickstand, that dude had made a U-ey and went right back the way he came. Now you got a bunch of Filipinos coming out. And we're sort of taught here that it's your fault. No matter what happens, you're the foreigner, so the shit's your fault. But that guy took off because everybody said to me he probably didn't have a license. The bike was probably not licensed. And that happens out here in the province. They're running little shit bikes that they have a fake plate on there, or they don't have a plate at all. So anyway, that guy took off like a scalded dog. And here I am with my girlfriend. I pick her up and I look at her, and she's got a little a scratch on her leg, and she's got on her foot, and they tell you to wear a closed-toe shoes here, and that's a practical, and I can tell you why, because when he hit the bike, I went down like this, and I put my foot out, to try and prevent the crash, and when I did, my toe buckled under, and it still hurts like a son of a bitch, and it's all black and blue underneath my toenail, and it hurts every time I walk. Luckily, like I said, we weren't driving real fast at all, so it barely crashed. It was like he hit us and we just hit the ground. So, but it was still one of those instances where even if you're doing everything right, you're following all your made-up rules, because it is the Wild West here. They'll pass on the right. There'll be cars coming this way, one coming this way, one going this way, and they'll pass on the inside. I've seen people go up on the sidewalk. I've done it myself just to keep going forward. Because the cars here, and I surmise that people have cars here because they're not practical. They're really not practical to drive around in. But it's so hot, I'm guessing people just have cars so they can be in the aircon while they're moving. That's the only, you're not going very fast in a car anywhere. If you get up to 45 miles an hour, 55 miles an hour, it's a bloody miracle. I assure you of that. Because nobody goes that fast here because you can't. Especially in the city, not in the province, different story. But we were in Bantayan Island, in the middle, in Bantayan proper, and like I said, we went down this alley, and this guy, he didn't look at all. He just blew right through the intersection. He did 100% didn't look, and I had the right of way. By all rights and means, this was a main road, and he came off the side street. But what does it matter? He took off like a scalded dog, and I came back to the place I'm staying at, and the guy I rented from, and I said to him, hey, man, I'm sorry. I told him right away. I was like, hey, man, I'm real sorry. This guy hit us, and, I scraped up the bike a little bit on the side, and we still haven't settled up on that. And I expected him to be kind of pissed, and just to show you how the goodness of the Philippine people, the very first words out of his mouth, which should be the very first words out of anybody's mouth when there's an accident, is, are you okay? And that's all he cared about, really. The first words out of his mouth, he's like, are you okay? Is Gladys okay? You know how refreshing that is? Because in the States, nobody will touch you. They're worried about getting sued. They won't even talk. The body could be laying there bleeding. And sure, I'm old school. I'm going to go over there and help because I don't know any better. But the younger generation, they're just hands off. They're not going to help at all. They're waiting for the cops to show up, and you can bleed out right there on the pavement. But like I said, the owner of the bike, he was concerned about Gladys. Is she okay? Are you taking care of it? And then he kind of turned it on. Are you taking care of it? Why are you out here talking to me? Why aren't you in there taking care of your girl? And I was like, son of a bitch, he's right. but that's my American, the way I think about things. I was more concerned about the property than the person. And that's on me, 100% on me. And as soon as he said that, I said, okay, man, I'll talk to you later. And I went right in the house and I sat Gladys down and I took some wipes and I cleaned her leg off real good. And I brought some antibiotic cream here with me, and I made sure I cleaned she just had little scrapes and it looked worse than it was. I thought it was going to be, black and blue by today when we woke up, but nothing. It was a miracle. It's a miracle, 100% a miracle that there wasn't far more damage to her body, because that bike fell right on her leg. And I thought for sure that she was going to be hurt. When I pulled that bike up, I was waiting for her to start screaming. And I don't know, I don't care who you are, where you're from. If she would have let out a scream in pain, I would have went to Philippine jail. And I hear that's no place for a foreigner. And that's my mentality. You hurt my girl. And I've got, it's sometimes I think for sure God is on my side and looking out for me when I'm not looking out for myself, because I could be my own worst enemy here, just like all you foreigners, all of us foreigners. Pardon me, I'm not trying to exclude. I am part of the crew, but we're prone to violence, and we all know that. We're taught that from a young age to be tough, and if somebody hurts your family, there has to be recompense, and usually it's in blood. Anyway, that being said, like I said, I went into, and today when she got up, she's just got like 2 little dings in her foot and a tiny little mark on her leg. And we were just so fortunate that it could have went so much worse, and it could have been she could have broke a leg or something. And then this beautiful retreat that I've been working so hard to get here and to be with my girl, she would be laid up in a cast or stitches or, God, who knows what, but none of that stuff happened. And I'm truly grateful. And in my own way, I'm glad that guy took off, because I was getting madder by the second. And my friends that know me, that know that's I can be unpredictable when it comes to that. And that's my fault. And I'm going to totally get a handle on that, because it was brought to bear and showed to me directly. So I'm going to reflect on that in the days to come and try and be a better man here in the Philippines and adjust to the Philippine lifestyle and realize that I'm a guest in this country and I'm a foreigner, and anything that I would have done the other day to harm this man would have just went bad for me. So in conclusion, I want to say I'm about the gratitude again. I am truly grateful that no one was hurt. The only thing that happened was the bike was scraped up a little bit, and that can be fixed. So I also think, in my own little twisted way, is that we got our accident out of the way. And I'm hoping there won't be another one. Just kind of cleared my head up on being, I'm cautious when I drive here in the Philippines, because you really have to be, but I'm going to be more cautious. I'm on the island. I'm on island time now. I'm not in a rush to be anywhere. When you're in Cebu City or Manila or something like that, the flow, the way it moves is really fast, and everybody's moving fast. But when you get here to the island, it's not that way. Everybody's slowed down considerably, and I hadn't adjusted to that fact, and I'm going to. Like today, we were driving around, and I barely went over 35, not because I was trying to make up for my speed or anything in the past. It was just like I had to talk with myself. What are you in a rush for? What's the big rush, man? Why are you in a rush? You're on island time. You're going to be here for 6 months. Chill, bro. For real. And I don't know who's out there that needs to hear this, but when you come here, chill. Chill, and I'm going to be taking my own advice. All right, this has been Hiding in the Philippines, and I want you to be as good as you can. Ciao.